Welcome, everyone. It is Friday night, and it is WrestleMania season. We're on the road to WrestleMania. The two main events have been officially set. If you're watching SmackDown live right now, like I am, you see that some people weren't main eventing that we thought were going to main event. I want your thoughts on that all through the night. We're going to talk a whole lot of stuff here, but these are the big topics right now that we're going to talk about this and the road to WrestleMania. Is it a rocky road? I don't know. Chunk, is it? We're going to figure this out together. Were these the right choices to main event WrestleMania, these two? We knew Cody and Cena were, but now we have the triple threat and a whole bunch more. We'll see what's going on here. Your thoughts on this and everything else that we talk about, but this is the weekend pop-off. We're going to kind of rebrand the Friday show. My name is Zach, live from Hollywood. Oh, WrestleMania season. Are you looking forward to it? I was very disappointed that Knock and I weren't going because tickets were so expensive. But the build has me saying, I think I'm going to be all right. What are your thoughts on WrestleMania? Are you looking forward to WrestleMania so far? Is this a good hype for you? A lot of pull-aparts have been going on with a couple of the main events and contract signings and so forth. We may even get another title change this Monday night. I'm still excited for WrestleMania because it's WrestleMania. I'm just saying, I thought because of the build, maybe main event Jey Uso would main event. I don't know. I also thought maybe this year the women could have one of the spots. That's what I thought, but maybe I was wrong. But they're set right now. If you're watching SmackDown, I'm watching the East Coast feed on USA. I'm a big fan of this, the European tour and everything that's going on. I like the early shows so I can catch it. But I like doing this on Friday with you. It's just, again, these main events for WrestleMania, I don't think they fully feel like main events. The heel turn from Cena needs a little something, in my opinion. Knock and I talked about this on Wednesday, but it needs a little bit of something from Cena other than him explaining his turn on the fans. Hopefully we'll get there in the next couple of weeks. This is a marquee matchup, Cena and Cody Rhodes. This is huge. This is a big-time one. I hate John Cena, but I honestly think he should win. He should become the new guy with the most title reigns. And honestly, I wouldn't be too upset if he retired with the belt like he said. But for someone to beat John Cena later on, that's a big deal too. So I'd like that. Let's just make sure it's not Austin Theory again. You know what I'm saying? All right. Drew McIntyre's obviously probably going to be doing a program with Damian Priest. Some other matches that are not happening that might happen, but probably won't happen. Dominic Mysterio and Finn Balor sitting right there. But they're probably going to be added to the Intercontinental title match. Fine. That's cool and all. But, man, they got this match sitting right there for them. We still need Jade versus Naomi set. And I think Dom and Finn Balor would kind of mirror that, where you have a WrestleMania match that has a storyline that gives two people their separate matchup. With 2 nights in WrestleMania, I figured this would be a lock. But again, they're just going to be added to a multi-man match. Judgment Day needs to break up, in my opinion. I think they're done. But with Jade and with Jade and Naomi, that can also lead into the Bianca match, which we'll talk about too. So a lot of stuff going on, a lot of storylines that can happen here at WrestleMania. And I want your thoughts on it because, you know what? Maybe I got tunnel vision on my thoughts for WrestleMania. We're also going to talk about some movie stuff too because we do cover pop culture here, and this is Hollywood. So as the sun sets and it's 62 degrees right now in Hollywood, we're going to talk about the possible... It's a spoiler. It's a spoiler. We'll talk about it, but I'll warn you, the Superman spoiler. I got a slide up that'll show when we're going to talk about it. Zelda has a release date. It's going head-to-head with Sonic the Hedgehog. Ooh, Sega versus Nintendo. I'll get your thoughts on that. Anything else you want to discuss, too? I know What You Did Last Summer poster got released with the synopsis, and a whole bunch more that we need to talk about here. Final Destinations, Bloodlines, and whatever shows you're watching as well. It is the weekend. What movies are you going to go see? Are you going to go see Minecraft? Good for you if you are. Let me know how it is in the comments after you see it. I don't know what to think of this movie based on the previews. I think they could have done a better job making things look a little more boxy. All right, but that's it. That's our rundown so far. That's what we're going to be talking about here. We're going to be running down SmackDown as well as it's happening right now. So if you got thoughts on SmackDown, I have looked at some spoilers, how the show ends and everything like that. Obviously, we're talking about one of the big spoilers right here. This is how the show ends. If you're, I don't know, you're planning the rest of your hour for SmackDown. But this is it. Do you feel bad for anyone that did not get a title shot? Or is not main eventing WrestleMania? I think those are the two big questions I have. And two of the titles, maybe even more of the titles, are not going to be defended at WrestleMania. I don't think the Women's Intercontinental is going to be defended. They have a weak storyline going in there with Lyra and Bayley and maybe some other people. But I think that's going to be on the new pre-show, which is the SmackDown the night before. I hope so much that Chelsea Green gets some kind of a match at WrestleMania. I don't even care if it's like a quick loss or a quick win or something happens and the match is like mainly entrances and the match is like super, super quick, like 2 or 3 minutes, because she'll sell the shit out of it and she'll actually get a WrestleMania match, which she deserves for all the work that she's put in this year. The men's IC title, I'm fine with the multi-man match. Dom and Finn, you got the match sitting right there. You got the time. You got 2 nights to do it. You got the breakup of the Judgment Day. I guess you can say this kind of thing for the night after WrestleMania, but all right. And then you can have their match at Backlash and sell that to be a big main attraction, but I really want Finn to have a good WrestleMania match, you know? Also, I think Dom needs that. I think Dom needs that kind of a spotlight, but we'll see. Next year at WrestleMania, we have to get Dominic Mysterio versus Rey Mysterio retirement match. We just have to get that. Randy Orton. Looking good, man. I got to say, Randy Orton versus Kevin Owens could be one that it's a sleeper. It sounds like it's just easy on paper, but I think it could be a great match. Drew McIntyre and Randy Orton on a SmackDown. I dig that. All right. Were these the right choices? The thing is that you'll find out. I guess it's going to be a spoiler, Paul Heyman. I'll come back to it. I don't want to spoil too much of what's happening on SmackDown if you're watching it live right now. But let me just propose this to you really quick. We have the 2 main events set in stone. We have John Cena versus Cody Rhodes. We have the triple threat, Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns, and CM Punk. Do you think those are the right choices to main event WrestleMania nights 1 and 2? Or should something else main event WrestleMania nights 1 and 2? Let us know in the comments. These are the matches they have so far. If you go on their webpage too, if you go on WWE.com, they have very weird things, pictures for Jey Uso and Gunther, and for Bianca Belair and Iyo Sky. They're not like these over here. Over here, how you doing? They're not these over here, which look nice and crisp, that they've been showing the graphics for. They're just these weird, like breaking news things. I don't know if they have that much faith in the Gunther and Jey Uso match, and I know we're going to get some kind of a swerve on Monday with Rhea Ripley joining the women's match. Randy Orton killing it right now. He's doing so well. What a great comeback he's had. I really love his comeback. Like probably since I can hear SmackDown. All right. There we go. Are you watching WWLFG? Are you watching Evolve? Is this just too much wrestling? It's too much wrestling for me. I'm not watching either one of them. And I swear to God, if they buy TNA, that's just too much. But let me know your thoughts on this. We'll come back to this. Who should main event WrestleMania? These are the matches so far. These are the big marquee matches. We know one of them for sure has to be the right choice, Cena and Cody Rhodes. The SmackDown, if you're keeping up with it, it's a pretty good showcase. It's just these 3 hours can kind of kill sometimes. But this is got to be the hottest story, in my opinion, going into WrestleMania next to John Cena and Cody Rhodes. The triple threat is fine. It seems like it's waiting for a payoff at the end for WrestleMania, though. This is a storyline that is just doing so well on its own. This is a classic storyline of betrayal, a third wheel going into WrestleMania season. I'm looking forward to them making this official. Jade Cargill versus Naomi at WrestleMania. And I want it to be on night one because I want this to have some kind of bleed in to Bianca Belair's match against Iyo Sky and Rhea Ripley. The work that Naomi's doing right now is so good. It's just really good. I think it should be showcased as such, and I think there should be some kind of ramifications of the betrayal, not just a Jade Cargill match and ending the feud. Just my opinion. I like the caution tape. I love everything that she's doing. Great presentation. I said build this up. And if you give this a nice showcase, it shows everyone who's not part of a bloodline that you got a great spot on the WrestleMania card. Speaking of bleeding into other things, this is what I like about the Triple H era. This some of the booking. We can talk about it if you want. It's kind of it's okay. This I like. The stare down Charlotte and Jade tonight on SmackDown. This is good. This builds anticipation as to what's to come. Jade could even cause Charlotte the match and build a match for Backlash. I don't care what it is. Do something with this. Don't save this for next year's WrestleMania because Jade Cargill needs to be there. We saw Tiffany Stratton isn't fully there on the mic. I don't think Jade Cargill is fully there on the mic. When Jade is comfortable, which is 100% comfortable, she's really good on the mic. But it's just like Tiffany. She's not always 100% comfortable. And we saw last week on SmackDown, her versus Charlotte on the mic, and also in NXT. We saw it didn't really hit. But this is cool. I like this kind of stuff right here. And next week, Rey Fenix will be on SmackDown. Is it too soon for Rey to be on SmackDown? Should they have waited until maybe the SmackDown after WrestleMania? Or is it cool to just kind of like put Rey Fenix right there before WrestleMania season? Because he could come out. He could be a swerve ball. He could come out and help Penta during the IC match against Judgment Day. Then that could be a feud. I don't know, but we'll see. But Rey Fenix next week on SmackDown. It's Mr. All Power. How are you doing, buddy? So many people. Who do you think will go back to AEW first? Anyone? Do you think Andrade will go back now that him and Charlotte are Splitsville? Jade versus Charlotte happen next year after Jade versus Bianca. It's a big matchup. I think Jade's there ring-wise. I think they really, when she did her time off, they actually helped build her up and stuff like that. Sorry if you're watching SmackDown now. Now the Rey Fenix promo's coming on. Yes, he will be on SmackDown next week. But yeah, I agree. Jade versus Bianca, you got to build something else with that. I swear that feud has to go into the women's triple threat, which will be a triple threat after Monday, hopefully. Rey Fenix. I like the showcase that they got for him during this promo, too. It's pretty cool. Next Friday. Who's going to job out to him, do you think? You think they put him against The Miz? I don't know. Let us know in the comments who you think Rey Fenix will beat next week. The Weeknd is officially doing the theme song again. Good for him, though. He's getting paid. Look at all these. WrestleMania 36, 7, 8, 9, 40, 41. This dude is paid. I got to hand it to The Weeknd. If you're able to get this many WrestleMania spots and just rake in the money with your theme songs, good for you. This is hey, good for him. I don't think it's the greatest song that he has for a WrestleMania song, but it's fine. All right, Jimmy Uso out now. All right, dance like your uncle. All right, I got to know your thoughts on this. This is a big thing that happened today. This was also announced for WrestleMania. The Hall of Fame, a WWE Immortal Moment, Stone Cold Steve Austin versus Bret Hart at WrestleMania 13 is going into the Hall of Fame. Are you cool with matches and moments going into the Hall of Fame? Or are you old school like me and just think wrestlers, valets, managers, and even referees deserve to fill these spots more? I don't know if I'm really, really big on this. I think it's actually kind of weird. I know UFC does this, and they're saying some other organizations do this as well, but this just seems weird. I think we celebrate them enough outside of the Hall of Fame throughout the year to really do this. I don't know who accepts the award or what they do for this. I guess they just acknowledge it. I know they're not putting the rest of that WrestleMania card in the main event. So weird. So weird, but it is what it is, huh? What other moments do you think should go into the Hall of Fame? There's so many that they can just throw in there. Obviously, if they were going to do the first one that was going to go in there, it would have been Hogan slamming Andre the Giant. That would have been the first one. But they're going with Stone Cold Steve Austin versus Bret the Hitman Hart WrestleMania 13, probably for multiple reasons. But what moment do you think should go into the WWE Hall of Fame? I don't know if I'd attend this. A Miz is awesome chant. Good for Miz. He's been in there for long enough. All right, again, any thoughts on what should main event WrestleMania other than what we have, or you think it's good enough? I gotta say, the build to the women's championship match between Tiffany and Charlotte hasn't been all that great. And yeah, we still have to wait for a third member to add into the women's world championship match. I also feel that something is going to happen during that triple threat, which is why you don't want it to main event. And something bigger is going to happen in the other triple threat with the men because I can't tell you yet because it hasn't happened on SmackDown. I will tell you eventually, though. WrestleMania in Vegas. I mean, it's all about the draw. It's all about the big marquee names at the end. Look, we talked about the Hall of Fame right here. And yes, I do think putting matches and moments in the Hall of Fame is kind of weird, but you got to look at it. Last year's Hall of Fame, after Paul Heyman was done, you can see the people leaving. I know it was late because it was right after SmackDown, but you don't want that at WrestleMania. Tickets are already not really selling as fast as they wanted them to. You got to add more matches if you're WWE because we're getting down there. But man, I just feel like there's more stories out there to tell other than the triple threat. But it is a nice story with Punk and Heyman, the 13 years or however it's been where Heyman was, or Punk was a Heyman guy. It is a nice moment. Having them share that moment and get actually emotional tonight in the ring during that was really nice. You'll see it later, obviously. And then what comes after is also another big surprise. KO and Randy Orton. Obviously, that's not going to main event, but man, something needs to be added to that match. Something needs to be added to that match. Gunther and Jey Uso. I think that's the one that I feel bad about. There was really great build. There was such great build to Gunther versus Jey Uso, but you know what killed it? All the time between Jey announcing he was facing Gunther after his Royal Rumble win to now. You can't keep doing the same thing. It was nice having Jimmy involved in this. I think that's been a nice addition, but you can't have Jey come out every time too to save him. It's too much of the same thing every week. I feel bad for Jimmy Uso. I actually feel bad for Gunther too. But man, they shot themselves in the foot with putting this much time between the Royal Rumble and WrestleMania. I feel like a lot of this build-up is like build-up for the Elimination Chamber pay-per-view. Yep, it is John Cena and Cody Rhodes. Noob, what do you think? Do you think people are missing out? These are the two main events. I'm spoiling SmackDown. I apologize. I'm doing this early. But these are the two main events for SmackDown. Excuse me. These are the two main events for WrestleMania. Are you cool with them, Noob? Or do you think another main event should have happened? These are them. These are official. Night 1, triple threat. Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns, CM Punk. Night 2, Cody Rhodes versus John Cena. Again, those are official. Noob, you're okay with them? All right. Noob, are you watching SmackDown right now? I don't want to spoil something, but if I can just get to the next point, but I don't want to spoil it if you're watching SmackDown right now. It is all up to you, Noob, if I spoil the end of the show. I agree. The women's triple threat is still being built. That's kind of like the same thing, back and forth, back and forth. We need some consistency in building these matches, and not the same thing, not redundancy. All right. Let me know if you want me to spoil the end of SmackDown. I don't want to ruin your night. But in the meantime, let's talk a little Hollywood news here. Sonic 4 coming out March 19th, 2027. Today announced The Legend of Zelda, the live-action film, will be released March 26, 2027. Look at that. A week apart, we're getting Sega versus Nintendo. I'm excited. We'll see what happens with the Legend of Zelda movie. That's a big, big task to take on. I'm excited for it. I mean, I got the original Legend of Zelda on the gold disc for their NES. I got the Link sequel with the gold disc on the NES. I got the Super Nintendo games. I love Zelda. I really do. But I hope they do it justice and just make it feel like a rich world. I mean, if you look what it's going up against, Sonic has been the most successful video game franchise in movies. That's right. It's Hollywood Wars. Nintendo versus Sega. I'm a Nintendo guy, but man, the Sonic franchise I don't think is beatable. The Legend of Zelda, though, this is one of the biggest franchises of all video games. This match is going to be in the middle of one of the cards. I guarantee it. It's going to be in the middle of one of the cards. I don't think it's even opening one of the nights. But yeah, I'm excited. Yeah, I don't know who they're casting. They have a director, but The Legend of Zelda better be in theaters too. Better not just be on streaming. We'll talk Superman later too. And again, I'm not the biggest fan of this. An immortal moment going into the Hall of Fame. I don't get this. I think it's kind of weak, but that's fine. It's TKO. UFC does this. Not my company. Great match, but yeah, Tiffy time. she needs to be how she was before she won a belt in NXT. Bianca needs to be who she was in NXT and just tear people apart on the mic. That's the Bianca I want. But this triple threat that is now night one main event. Yes, this will end. That is one of the spoilers for the end of the SmackDown. There's one more spoiler that I cannot get to. I'll get to in a bit, but it builds on to excitement of this match. They're doing a good job with this match. I don't know. I'm okay not spending a month's rent going to WrestleMania this year. I'm okay with that. I'm fine turning on Peacock, maybe spending a little extra money on some junk food. I'm fine with that. Big Jim Uso gets the win on SmackDown here. Oh, I got to give credit to CM Punk. CM Punk is really making me care about this triple threat. When it was announced, when it was read online about this match on the dirt sheets, I wasn't excited about it. CM Punk is selling the hell out of this match, and tonight when you see it, more will be sold as well. All right, those are your main events for WrestleMania. SmackDown is on right now, and talking video games, they're back. Game Informer is back. The old employees are all coming back. They are given carte blanche to run the company as is, in print and online. So if you're a fan of Game Informer, if you grew up with it like I did, this is pretty cool. I might buy the first edition back, physical edition. We'll look at it together online. But I'm pretty excited about this. I grew up with Nintendo Power, Game Informer, Game Pro. I love these magazines. I love just paging through them. This is kind of how I got my walkthroughs when I was younger, were these magazines. And I even like getting Game Informer and Game Pro because then I could see games from other systems I didn't have. We're talking about Genesis and Nintendo. It was cool to see even the comparisons of like WWF Royal Rumble, people that were on one that weren't on the other, different fighters and fighting games that were on one that weren't on the other. I am a big fan of print. I do like print. It's just nice to have. But yeah, Game Informer's back. We'll keep up on the podcast when it's actually going to come back, the actual date once they figure it out. But the original people are back in charge. That's really cool. Game Informer, something fun for gamers. Do you want to talk about this? We can. It's not really that big of a spoiler. It's just someone who's going to be playing someone. It's someone who everyone thought was in the movie anyways. If you don't want to know, just put it in the chat and I won't talk about it. That's two things tonight I have on here that I won't talk about because I don't want to ruin anything for anyone. But yeah, someone who saw a test screening of Superman gave a description of it online, and he got called out by someone. So he said, "Oh yeah, well, I did see it. Here's someone that's in the movie," and he put it out there. And now everyone knows someone who's in the movie, and now that person is probably boycotted by WB. But yeah, it is someone who's in the Superman movie. Let me know in the comments if you're cool talking about it. If you already know, pop it in the chat as well. That's fine. But Superman spoilers are going to start to leak. They have been doing test screenings left and right for this movie after every tweak and turn on it. Because reviews are so mixed on it. I'm still going to see it in theater. I'm excited for it. Drew got slammed onto a car, glass in his eye. That's another match that's going to get added to the card pretty soon here. Oops. That was a spoiler. Sorry. It's okay because what was there wasn't officially spoiled. What I already talked about that's what that is. But that's another match that's going to get added here. So now, in addition, where am I? To these matches right here, Drew McIntyre and Damian Priest, which has a nice build and a year-long storyline. I'm okay with this. That's funny. Noob, I think I'm in the camp that thinks Drew McIntyre and Kevin Owens always have a point. They're always correct. Because every time they do say something, I say, they're kind of right. I agree. He did not deserve that. Also, that's assault. Anyone does that to me in my job. Raw recap. Let's do the Raw recap on there. All right. Cody Rhodes, John Cena. This is the final stop on the European tour and the final time John Cena is going to be on TV until WrestleMania. That's a heel move. You know what else is a heel move? Charging $25,000 for a dinner with John Cena. Watch that Flintstone jaw dude eat? No, thank you. Where were we? We're talking about the matches, potential other ones. One, Drew and Damian Priest. The IC multi-persons match. I'm guessing they're going to announce a multi-person SmackDown tag team match. I really don't know if they're going to add a U.S. title match. They have to add one of the U.S. titles, right? You can't have both U.S. titles on SmackDown. You got to have one of them on one of the main shows for WrestleMania. You got to put Chelsea Green on, in my opinion. And I think it should be a ladder match. I really do. I know the SmackDown tag match is probably going to be a ladder match, which will be great. But, man, you got to give Chelsea Green a shot. Any other matches that are out there that are just kind of like simmering that I'm not thinking of that are going to be added to WrestleMania? Anything that they could kind of squeeze in there too? I think now that Uncle Howdy's ready to go, they're going to save them. Actually, that'd be a good one to use for one of the women's matches, like the U.S. match. Have Uncle Howdy come out and do the Alexa Bliss thing. But I'm sure they'll save that for one of the events right after WrestleMania. John Cena has been ruining wrestling for close to 25 years, noob. I have been preaching these headlines month after month, year after year. He also ruins comedies. Put that headline out there. He ruins DC. Put that out there. He ruins hefty bags. You can put that out there. He ruins baldness. You can put that out there. John Cena has been ruining shit for years. Wicked. The new poster for that sequel got leaked yesterday. Anyone excited for? I know what you did last summer. They're calling it the same name as the original. So it's basically people that do the exact same thing, and then they go find headlines that Freddie Prinze Jr. and Jennifer Love Hewitt went through the same thing. So they go seek them out to help them. We'll see. You're not going to bring Brandy back? She's out there. She was just in a movie, A24 horror movie. It's on Max now. It was decent. It's called The Front Room. CM Punk on the way out now. Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns on the way out. I won't spoil the ending, but this is it, though. That was, again, something else is said that I won't spoil. This is the main event for night 1 and 2. And again, I won't spoil it, but if you want to know, we can talk about it. Superman, I call it a small spoiler, really. I think if you didn't announce it, seeing who this person was would be more distracting than just, yeah. Whatever. Hollywood's weird. More John Cena stuff. Did you sit and watch Chairs for 5.5 hours? I didn't. I watched it for about 10 minutes until I figured I knew what was going on. I did expect something to happen. Nothing happened. A few things that were in there are kind of surprises, but also some of them are kind of like silly. Bringing back Patrick Stewart seems cool, but he's also died like 3 times in the movies. And then you have Rebecca Romijn coming back, which is cool. I like her as Mystique. But then you don't have Jennifer Lawrence unless that's a surprise. Obviously, they're not going to announce everybody that's in the cast. But who knows? And then Namor is coming back. I figure he will probably fight with the Wakandans. And we're going to do probably 3 or 4 sets of people. Like instead of Endgame, you had like 2 or 3 sets go off. I think you have 3 or 4. What do you think of this? Do you think it was silly? Do you think it was fun? Do you think it was cool? Were you one of the millions and millions that watch Chairs? They show this package with John Cena, him announcing it again, Ric Flair's name, he wants to eliminate it, and they showed Ric Flair footage. I think Ric Flair is going to kind of come out and do a promo with Cody. I think that's going to happen within the next few weeks leading up to WrestleMania. John Cena, he's just not selling it to me because he's a bad actor. All right, but again, anything in Avengers Doomsday really hit with you, let me know. I just don't want it to be cheesy with the Fox X-Men, and that's like the only other like incursion kind of universe. Because you're talking multiverses, even the show Loki showed so many of them, and we're just going to get the Fox universe. I hope they don't include animation. I really hope they don't include animation. But again, WrestleMania main events. We find out tonight that this is the main event. CM Punk is going to wrestle in a WrestleMania main event and finish his story. These promos are so long between Cody Rhodes and John Cena. They're so long. And now we're doing these again in packages and re-showing them and re-showing them. And just imagine, this is one that's just happening after a couple weeks. There's going to be more footage to add to the WrestleMania packages. So much time to kill. All right, there we go. We got the weekend on right now. That is the new WrestleMania theme song. The weekend gets another one. Timeless by The Weeknd. Snickers. Man, Snickers has been sponsoring WWE events ever since the Attitude Era. Snickers. All right, here we go. We'll get Seth Rollins coming out. Nick Aldis out there right now. I know I showed you a still of this because this happened earlier. This is the main event, the contract signing. Nick Aldis. I thought someone was going to have a storyline with him leading up to WrestleMania that'd give him a match. He said the biggest triple threat match in the history of WrestleMania. Do you agree? Here comes Roman Reigns. Still gets a huge pop. I don't know if I fully like this new entrance. It sounds like it's all done on a computer. Holy crap, this is going to be a long entrance. This is going to be a long contract signing. We still have 20 minutes left. And USA could possibly give them an overrun too tonight. Also announced, the Hardy Boys will take on the Nemeth Brothers at TNA's next pay-per-view here in LA. Let us know if you're going. Not going to talk about going. $54 for general admission seats. And the general admission seats are over half of the arena. So let us know if you're in the LA area and you're going to TNA's next pay-per-view. Is it Rebellion? Correct me if I'm wrong. Moose will be defending the X Division Championship. Holy crap, another commercial. SmackDown is killing me. All right. WrestleMania main event. If you got any other suggestions on why another match should main event other than the triple threat for night one in John Cena and Cody Rhodes night two, let me know. I think I might. I don't think I'm going to watch this whole thing. I'll probably watch it later. Actually, I already watched it. So let's just get to it. The main event of WrestleMania, night one, is now the triple threat match between Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns, and CM Punk. The big deal that is happening tonight is not just that CM Punk is finishing his story and will finally get to main event at WrestleMania, night one, but that's not all that's in the contract. Maybe. All right, this is very special. Paul Heyman and CM Punk have been friends since Punk entered WWE. He's responsible for a lot of Punk's pushes. It's a big deal that these two are doing this program together with Roman Reigns. Everything makes sense slowly and is really good. You know, we just come off of Cody versus Roman, which was a huge, huge, huge deal. But now we're getting this, which is great. But the big caveat at the end is big, you know, which we'll find out. But yeah, these are the two main events. Night two, the big one, John Cena versus Cody Rhodes. Night one, the triple threat, Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns versus CM Punk. Is it fair that main event Jey Uso and Gunther aren't wrestling in the main event? Or Charlotte and Tiffany Stratton? Did they get screwed? Or is it because we now finally get CM Punk in a main event of WrestleMania? And also, that's not the favor he asked of Paul Heyman. There's something else big that'll happen during that match or after that match that is going to be a bigger deal than Uso versus Gunther or Stratton and Flair could produce. What do you think? That's it. That is the end of SmackDown right there. That's what goes down. There's more to the story than just main eventing a WrestleMania for CM Punk. Also, do you consider it a big deal that he wrestles in a main event in night one WrestleMania and not night two? Rather, maybe next year or the year after. But that is it. That's the big headline from tonight's SmackDown. CM Punk will finally get to headline WrestleMania. Seth Rollins kind of being a little pushed to the side between Punk and Reigns. Could Rollins be the one to walk away from this? I don't know, but the huge favor that has yet to be given to Punk is a huge factor in this triple threat matchup. That is it. All right, that is the show. I'm going to hit it right now. I'm going to grab some food, man. Roman Reigns is still coming out. Enjoy the rest of SmackDown. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. And if you're up to something, let us know what it is. And if you see a movie or have any movie recommendations, hit up the comments afterwards and let me know. I'll hit you back up if I watch those same things and we can chat. Otherwise, you know the drill. Have yourself a great weekend. Enjoy the weather if you can. And just, you know what? Enjoy the rest of SmackDown. All right. For West Coast Popcast, live from Hollywood, my name is Zach. Have a great weekend and be excellent to each other. Take care, everyone.